Hiya, so today I'm going to talk about the horse's tongue. The horse's tongue is affected by every single bit choice that we make. It's connected by a very small apparatus known as the hyoid. And I'm going to show you a bit more closely today about abuses of the tongue and how we should be taking a lot more notice of it when it comes to our bridling choices. Now this first picture just shows us, the tongue, how most of us see it. But having had my arm up many horses' faces, the tongue towards the back of the mouth fills up the oral cavity. The tongue is more cylindrical and thicker and is actually quite a strong piece of muscle when it's used to defend its mouth against a mouthpiece. So always handle the tongue with care. Never pull it out the side of the mouth. Here is the hyoid bone. I can't show you on the skulls I've got. Unfortunately, it's one of the small bones that's very frequently lost because you can see, in comparison to the horse, it's relatively small. But this is the underview of the jaw here, just to show you where the tongue is actually attached and the delicate hyoid bone. Anyone twitching their horse's tongue, which I hope doesn't happen very often anymore, but I have seen it done, they could cause irreparable damage to the horse by doing so. Now here's a little diagram just to show you a bit more closely. I know some of you really like this stuff. It can be a bit highfalutin for some, so I try to keep this as accessible as I can, encouraging you to go off and research a bit more deeply should you wish to do so. But I don't want to baffle people with too much science. But here is a diagram of it showing you the little parts of that small intricate apparatus in its mouth. Now how is this attached to the rest of the horse? Here is how. The sternohyoid. This muscle runs from the tongue down to the shoulders, across the abdominals and into the hindquarters. Any horse with flinching shoulders, intermittent short striding, this could be why. The omohyoid. As you can see, this muscle extends from the tongue up to the poll, underside of the neck, again over the shoulders, the stomach and hind limbs, right down into the hind foot. Intermittent hind leg lameness can be coming from the tongue. And then we come on to the occipitohyoid, as you see, from the tongue up to the poll, the neck, the withers, the back and hindquarters. If your horse has flinchy withers, cold-backed, hind leg lameness, it could be coming from the tongue. Now this is where this starts, you see. Any horse with metal in the mouth is going to retract its tongue just like you see in this picture here. That's why racehorses end up having different things done to them to stop that happening, why we use nose bands, other artificial aids in order to try and prevent the horse from being able to defend its mouth against what we're doing to it. Now, this does have implications that will travel right through the horse's body, but it's all right because humans have thought of stuff. Now, this sort of bit, a spoon snaffle, it looks kind of soft and mild. You'd be mistaken for thinking it's a good idea, but this is to lay across the horse's tongue. The idea being that you dissuade them from trying to retract their tongue from the pain that they're getting from the mouthpiece. There's so many other inventions that humans have concocted, as I will never stop illustrating, all designed to undo a problem of our own making. Here we have a tongue grid. I mean, it does what it says on the tin. You can see how it would work and where it would sit. Again, it's to dissuade the horse from moving its tongue. But the horse is only moving its tongue because it's got a bit in its mouth and possibly bad hands operating that bit. We can't keep restricting when an animal needs release. The animal is only doing what it has to do to survive. Here is another tongue grid, and you can see that this could actually be very problematic to the horse because the tongue could easily squish into that central U, and probably does with some regularity. Once the horse is twisting and retracting its tongue, the effects are going to be felt right through the horse's body. you will have so many issues of muscle spasm, tightness, lameness, and all because the tongue is having to do so much to try and defend itself. Here we have the cathedral port. I did mention this one on my ports video recently. And you can see that the idea is twofold with this really. One, to lay the tongue down, but as the bit rotates within the horse's mouth, it's going to make extreme impact with the roof of the mouth. The horse is in a no-win situation. We trap its tongue and we call it advancement. Now this is where that gets us. This is in dressage. You'll see here how the tongue has become blue. That's because the oxygen and blood has been cut off to it, exactly as any one of our limbs would. Now the horse has got to work at high levels of dressage while undergoing this kind of agony. We need to own what we are doing here. Now this picture, you'll see there's blood coming from the mouth. The horse is in a double bridle. Usually the tongue has become pinched between the two mouthpieces, or the cheeks have been crushed onto the teeth, and because the tongue is automatically twisting, trying to defend itself, they end up biting their own tongue, getting ulcers on their cheeks, and indeed ulceration or even lacerations of their tongues. Their tongues are as sensitive as ours are. Now racehorses usually raced in these kind of bits, and the idea is that they can exert a lot of pressure onto the bars of the mouth. Most of them, this is standard kit, and you can see a horse wearing one here. Now the joint of that snaffle part of the bit, I want you to note where the joint is, but that's not why I've posted that. I want you to look at the tongue, how trapped it is, and it's trying to trap itself that leads to this. Now my heart breaks, and the reason for that is the horse so willingly gives its head. It gives its head because that's what it's been trained and taught to do. This horse has the snaffle mouthpiece, as you can see, and the dexter ring under it. Now that ring that encircles the lower jaw is acting as a strict curb, if you like.
I gave you my all, but you always want more. Trusted you completely, now my heart is sore. You hurt my jaw with the words that you spit, fighting your battles, but I never fit. I died in your walls like a silent ghost. Sacrificed myself when you needed me most. I dropped in your sand, just a grain in your land. All I ever asked for was a gentle hand. Whoa, why do you break me then leave me alone? Took my love for granted, now my spirit is gone. I gave you everything, but you held out for more. Left me in pieces, scattered on the floor. Love became a battle with no end in sight. You took my light and left me in the night. I trusted you fully, but now I see clear. All you ever offered was pain and fear. Whoa, why do you break was the flame. Burn all my bridges, now I'm standing ashore. All I ever wanted was a little more. Why do you break me to leave me alone? Took my love for granted, now my spirit is gone. I gave you everything, but you held out for more. Left me in pieces, scattered on the floor. Oh, on the floor. Scattered on the floor. Why do you break me and leave me alone? Took my love for granted, now my spirit is gone. I gave you everything, but you held out for more. Left me in pieces, scattered on the floor. I reached out for kindness, but it never came. Your love was a
I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you'll like and subscribe and come back soon. Bye now.